What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another Marvel Future Fight video. Alright, so in this one here, we're going to be taking a look at Jean here, and I'm just going to be doing kind of a comparison between her with and without her uniform, and just, get some gameplay with her so you can get a feel of how she plays with the new uniform here. So let's go ahead and take a look at my Jean here before we get started. So I do have her decently built. We are only rank, 14,000, a little under 15,000 for our score, but I do have some 5-star on her. I haven't really bothered getting all of the amplification slots. As you can see, we have 4 amplified slots on each one. For our skills, we do have all of our skills leveled up here, but I don't think you need to level them all up, just basically the 3rd skill and the 5th skill here. And then our ISO 8 set, we have a fully awakened overdrive set, which actually is not the ideal set for her. Probably Power the Angry Hulk would be a better option, just because she does have that massive crit rate boost here on the 5th skill. As you can see here, crit rate by 45%, so it's very, very easy to cap her crit rate, so you don't need the crit rate from overdrive, so the attack speed would be more valuable for her. This is just the first set that I rolled way back when I was building up Jean Grey, and I just never got around to changing it because I already have this fully awakened set on her. And then for her Obelisk, as you can see here, I still have the Obelisk from without the uniform with the fire damage. So we have fire damage, recovery, and a 200% proc. And I do really, really like this Obelisk, so I don't really want to change it just because I do like all 3 of those stats. When she was fire damage, this was ideal, especially having that recovery rate to help synergize with her healing on the 3rd skill. It made her quite hard to kill, and the 200% proc, of course, is fantastic. So that's what she's looking like so far. Our uniform is still sitting at normal. I haven't ranked it up any yet because I am saving all of my Phoenix Feathers for when I eventually get her potential. We're only at 16% right now. That's from 2 days worth of world bosses. I got a 4% and a 12% so far. So hopefully I'll be luckier with Jean than I was with Deadpool and Wolverine. That took me like 2.5 weeks to get their potential, almost 3. That was pretty miserable. Take a look at the details here. We have her ignore defense maxed out. We have skill cooldown pretty close to max. That's not really going to affect her too much, I don't think, having that 2% loss right there. And then the crit rate, like I said, with the buff on the 5th skill, we don't have to worry about that. That'll be capped. And then our crit damage is actually quite low, so I do need to boost that up a little bit. We're only at 160% right there. So that's what she's looking like. So now we're going to hop into a little bit of testing, and let's see, we can just start without the uniform here. So let's go ahead and equip that. Hop over to World Boss here. And first we're going to, who do we want to go against first? Probably Cull here. So Cull, I was doing stage 31 because it has changed. Yesterday there was no blade twister on this, so that's kind of what I look for. I try to get away from those blade twisters. There we go. So 40 or 32 has no blade twisters. And I was using this team earlier because Nick Fury gives super armor, because one of the things that Jean Grey did lose with the uniform is her super armor. So she no longer has super armor, which is kind of annoying. So to kind of make it even, to see how important that super armor was, I will just throw in Ebony Maw here. We get the 40% increase to attack there, and then also the 25% against universal types, so it's going to be a 65% leadership right there, basically. So yeah, I mean, not too bad. And I could actually throw in Ghost Panther here kind of to illustrate the strength of Jean without the uniform, because most people will have, I would assume, maybe Ghost Panther, maybe not at tier 2, so maybe I shouldn't throw in Ghost Panther here, because Ghost Panther gives a 50% fire damage boost. So doing earlier testing with Ghost Panther and Jean without and with the uniform, their damage was getting pretty similar in terms of the clear time, just because of that fire damage boost that she's getting without the uniform, whereas she's not getting that boost with the uniform because she no longer does fire damage. So that was kind of making up the middle ground right there in terms of the damage, I think. But I'm curious to see if once I get her to level 70, if that's going to change, if we're going to... Oh, that was a really early proc on that, so already messed up right there. And curious to see if that is going to change at all. Okay, I'm missing my procs quite badly here. So far 2 duds on our procs. Let's see if we can't get a good one here. Alright, so this one just procking part way through, nothing too crazy yet. Trying to at least get a nice... Okay, that's kind of a decent proc. Was that like half a bar or something like that? Whoop. And right there, my didn't register me hitting that 5th skill. Alright, so let's go in here a little bit. Yeah, so you get close to half a bar with the proc, I'm thinking. Oh, well, there was some all defense down, but yeah, we're getting like half a bar with the proc. Okay. So like half a bar with the proc on stage 32 Cull here. So now if we go ahead and do her uniform, what was that? Go over here. Should just favorite her to make this a little easier. So let's go ahead and do that. Equip the uniform. Go back over and hop back in with the exact same team and strikers. I probably should have taken out the strikers in hindsight here, but we'll do that for the next one and see what Jean with the uniform is going to do here. And previously, like I said, the damage was similar, but with the uniform it was still better. I will say it was still better, but very similar. So let's see here. Okay, that was like half a bar when those proc was late, but now since I used that, okay. Oh yeah, there we go. So that was still a bit better even with the... Okay, that was close to half a bar again, so... Yeah, like I said, they're pretty... Whoops. Well, the damage proc got messed up there. That's one thing with the uniform, is it's kind of hard to line up your damage proc. I mean, without the uniform, you do have to be pretty quick on the canceling. But the thing is, with the uniform here, you need to wait a tiny bit with the 5th skill, and you do have some hits that go on at the start of the 5th skill, so it's kind of easy to accidentally get your proc there. So as you can see, the damage is, like I said, really close, but keep in mind, Ghost Panther here was giving an extra 50% fire damage to Jean without the uniform, so you do need to take that into account. So she's definitely doing a lot more damage with the uniform here, especially if you don't have Ghost Panther and you're not using him as support for Jean. That's the first time we got guard broken though, so we haven't gotten... Oh, messed up the damage proc there. That was still not bad on the... Oh, we had the all defense down. It was still not bad on the 4th skill, but generally... Yeah, see, it's procking way too early there, so let's go ahead and get that going. And look at that heal though. Well, she's healed up to full now, but it was like 7,000 a tick with the... we got frozen. With the heal. So that's quite ridiculous, because without the uniform here, I think I was only getting like 3,000 or something like that. It was like 3,200 maybe. So yeah, it's a pretty big difference in the healing. Well, there was the all defense down, but... As you can see with the uniform here, the damage is pretty similar. It's a little bit better though, a little bit better. Maybe I should just do the comparison real fast. I'll take off Ghost Panther just so you can see what I'm saying. Ghost Panther off, and we'll just throw on... Where'd Coulson go? Or I guess Shuri. But actually we do need to change the uniform here, so let's go ahead and equip that. Go back one more time, hop in again. And then after this, I'm going to take her in against Ebony Maw just to see the difference there as well. Just going to do this really quick, and we'll see kind of what the damage proc is looking like now with without Ghost Panther. And wow, thanks damage proc. All right, well, let's go ahead and reset here. All right. And that time damage proc was super early. Alright, come on. Let's get a good damage proc this time. Okay, that's halfway decent. See there, it's only like... There's only like 30% of his health bar. So Ghost Panther giving that fire damage support. Yeah, see, it's moving a lot slower. So that Ghost Panther was making a pretty big difference for Jean without the uniform here with that fire damage. So now let's go ahead and move on to Ebony here. And I was doing a stage 50 test a little bit earlier, and stage 50 with strikers, my Jean without a uniform is able to clear this stage. She has about, depending on what leadership I use, if I use like a full team here and use Nick Fury and Ghost Panther, get all the bonuses, she's able to clear to stage 50 with about 45 to 50 seconds left. If I take out Nick Fury here and I just use Satana, because I usually like to use this team up here, save Nick Fury for someone else, she's able to clear it with only like 20 to 10 seconds left, so it gets really, really close using Satana's leadership. And when I use Jean with the uniform, I was actually timing out the few times that I did it. She was very close. There was only 1 or maybe 2 health bars left on Ebony, but she was timing out. But again, I'm chalking it up to it being a lot more difficult for me to line up the damage proc, is what is causing that kind of variation. So let's go ahead and do that, and let's lower the difficulty a little bit here. So let's just go down to a stage 40 just so we can get maybe a easier representation here. So let's go ahead and hop in, and we'll take a look at without the uniform first here. Alright, so let's see what we can do. We should hopefully see some pretty good numbers here. So let's pop over to Jean. Yeah, she should probably do about a bar with the damage proc, maybe even more. That is if we get the damage proc. Damage proc is being very, very, I don't know, temperamental right now. What? Oh, we're already at the next stage. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have lowered it this much. Or maybe, you know what? I should have just taken off the strikers. So let's do this again here. Go away, strikers. There we go. Alright, this should be a little bit better now to see the damage, because that's what I should have done in the first place here. Alright, so now let's see what Jean can do. Alright, so switch over. Get hit by one of those. Now pop on over. Okay, so that was close to... That's like 55% of a bar, 60%, something like that. Another skill with no damage proc. Alright, fantastic. And let's see, so what are we healing for with this? Only 1,000? Oh, there's 2,700, 37. Okay, yeah, now we gotta get hit a little bit. Okay. And yeah, it's like 60% of a bar or something like that with our damage proc. And that's including Ghost Panther on the team here. Yeah, so like 60% of a health bar with Ghost Panther on the team. So now let's just go ahead and hop over, take Ghost Panther off, put on Valkyrie. Oh, don't grab a striker. I'm so used to just putting in the strikers. And then we'll see how much this affects the damage here. Alright, Ebony, what do you got? Oh, don't. Okay. Yep, teleport over. And we are getting... That was a late proc, but that was only like 20% of a bar. Ah! Got stunned. No, why did my damage proc go off early there? Alright, well anyway, he's sitting at about half a bar now, so let's line up our damage proc. Let's cooperate with me right now, damage proc. What? My tornadoes didn't even appear from the 5th skill. Alright, well we need some healing, so let's do this. Oh, of course that activates the damage proc. I can't get it to activate from like the 30 or 40 hits on the 5th skill at the start, but it'll activate from the 2 hits on the 3rd skill. That's fantastic. Alright, do we have our damage proc back? We should. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm guessing it's probably going to do about 40% of his bar if we get an actual damage proc to happen here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, about 40%, maybe 50. So we're losing about 10 to 20% of the bar, so taking out Ghost Panther. And now let's just go ahead and put on our uniform here, and you can see the difference. Let's go ahead and grab Jean. Equip her uniform. And of course there's room to grow here because the uniform's only at normal, so I can rank up the uniform. And then I still don't know how the damage is going to scale once we get her to level 70, so it could make it like even a bigger gap between her with and without the uniform at level 70, depending on how the skills damage scale with the uniform and without the uniform. So I'll be curious to see how that affects her once we get her potential realized. And of course we had the damage proc go off right away there, which is not going to be a good showing for this. Okay, I don't have my healing yet, so can you stop that? Okay, so now let's... Oh, we missed the damage proc there. And again, so that was pretty light. That was only like 20% of a bar. Wow, her damage proc is going off like instantly from that 5th skill. Can you not do that? Can we have a delay on the damage proc here? I get a little bit unlucky with the proc. There we go. Okay, so what was that? Like 45% of a bar, maybe 50? That was only like 30% of a bar. But again, what her 5th skill and her 3rd skill are the ones with mind damage on it. Everything else is energy damage. So when I'm proccing on the 3rd skill, I should see a pretty big difference from proccing on the 2nd skill. But as you can see there, it's still decent because most of that's all of that was energy damage right there from that proc. This proc right here should be mind damage. Yeah, and that's pretty similar to what she was doing with without the uniform with Ghost Panther. Yeah, it's about half a bar. So as you can see here against Ebony, her damage is a little bit less, but again, you have to take into account that I have a 30% fire damage Obelisk, and then when I was using Ghost Panther, that's an extra 50%. So even if we take the test without Ghost Panther, I'm still getting that 30% fire damage boost from the Obelisk. So that could be some of the variation, but you could argue that with the uniform here, the uniform bonus is at 15% all attack, and then we have the just standard uniform bonus at 20% right now, right? That's what I'm starting at. So you could take those few things into account. So overall, right now at level 60, the uniform is looking really strong if you need more survivability and if you don't have Ghost Panther. But if you do have Ghost Panther and a fire damage Obelisk on Jean already, I would think you would be seeing some pretty similar numbers with and without the uniform. Once I rank up the uniform, though, past normal, I'd expect that gap to start widening quite a bit from the just kind of stat buff from the uniform itself. And then also, if you do put a mind damage Obelisk, like if that was mind damage instead of fire damage, I'm curious to see how much more that would affect her damage, because like I said, proccing on the 3rd skill is a mind damage one, so you should see a pretty big boost. But then the 5th skill, I don't really see that as a good skill to kind of proc on, and the all defense down does not apply to world bosses, so that doesn't matter. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of what I'm at right now. I have mixed feelings about the damage with and without the uniform, but like I said, I want to get her to level 70 before I kind of knock it too much, and also maybe if I change the Obelisk in the future, but I do really like this Obelisk. So I don't know. My final thoughts are the uniform looks super strong just because even with the 80% fire damage without the uniform, she was still able to slightly outdamage that, or the base Jean with the uniform. So yeah, so the uniform is adding more than 80% of her damage, so that's pretty crazy. So anyway, that's going to be it for this video here. Just kind of a quick comparison in World Boss Ultimate, at least, with Jean with and without her uniform. If I missed something, if you want to see like a different kind of test or something like that, let me know in the comments below where you'd want me to try her out with and without the uniform, or if you just want me to kind of show a full clear of a World Boss Ultimate stage with the uniform, kind of the highest one I'm able to do with strikers and stuff like that. Feel free to let me know as well. But that's going to be it for this video here. I'm off to complete World Boss so I can see what my potential goes up to. So yeah, let's hope for a big jump right there so I can get Jean to tier 3 as quick as possible. But anyway, like I said, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.